So let me just read this to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it goes like this. Do I believe in conspiracies? Nah. Do I believe powerful people would get together and plan for certain outcomes? Nah. Do I believe powerful interests would operate outside the law and maybe even kill people? Nah. Do I believe secret government agencies might feel the need to assassinate a person and cover it up? Nah. I think everything in America is open and clean and above board, and powerful people always play by the rules. You know, that's my thought.
Yeah, well, you should have been on my government agent.
This is how you get into conspiracy. It's like you think you found the holy grail of truth that no one really knows, right? So you get all excited and you want everyone to know. Then you realize, hey, no, this is a world of also half lies, half truths, disinformation, right? There's also stuff coming in from the very thing you think you've discovered that it's against, right? So then you just have to step back and critically think and just go, okay, take everything on board in a sense of just look at it in a non-biased perspective and just look at it and then see if it makes any sense by doing more research on the research you've done. So you have to put your own research in.
Yeah, but do you remember Noel Faulkner in London?
Yeah.
What was the club he owned?
Comedy Cafe.
Yeah, Comedy Cafe in Shoreditch, which has since closed. He was having a big mental funk. A few years ago, I remember he was telling me that he was just too engaged in watching conspiracy theory videos on YouTube, and one video led to another, and then just
next minute you can get down a zillion rabbit holes and start to get nuts, and then it can get out. It happened to me for a while. Like, it didn't drive me nuts, but you realise that it takes over your thinking. Right? So that's when you step back and go, all right, hang on, just relax on it.
I mean, some conspiracy theories are fun. I personally...
conspiracy theory...
Putin has a video of Donald Trump encouraging Russian prostitutes to drink water and pee on the bed at the Ritz-Carlton. I mean, that's one of the ones that keeps me cheerful and hopeful. As bad as things are in the world, you know? And then other ones...
And plus some conspiracy theory is a great term that they made up. I think they invented it after the JFK assassination when people just didn't believe
the government obviously was lying to them. And so if they're capable of that...
the word conspiracy theory, I think, was invented by the government, whoever it is who runs your country these days, the deep state, shadow government. But
whoever's got that video of
it's
Trump with the Russian.
But no, it can drive people nuts. Because I've met, I've met hardcore conspiracy theorists, hardcore.
So what do you mean by hardcore?
It possesses every single thought that, every single thing they see is a conspiracy.
Why?
Yeah. They go that nuts. Like like someone on the X-Files that lives in a caravan and...
You've teetered on that edge.
No.
Not for everything.
No, not everything. But I've teetered on the edge, but
in a comical.
Yeah.
I've always found it amusing.
I had comedy. I had a way to turn it into comedy, into jokes. But there's certain things I completely still hold true. I did anti-PC material years ago, and everyone thought I was a conspiracy theorist. I was going, no. This is like intellectual colonialism. They're going to start. They can bend this into thought crime. Bend this into so that they break down all functions of society, turn all society into this kind of subjective postmodernist sort of soup where no one's allowed to say anything because someone gets offended, which leads into this and that, and that's
where we're heading.
That's a dangerous world,
Everybody's touchy about everything.
Yeah, and that you can't have that, and it's happening. And I told them 10 years ago, and did comedy about it. No, I didn't. And people go, Steve's a bit nuts. I'm going, well, you're all watching it now, aren't you? Because you're watching these 20-year-old SJWs who have, come of age, the harvest from the children of the damned, as I call them. They've all come through school governed by political correctness, pumped full of Ritalin, and now they're all running around with green hair and Doc Martens and neck tattoos thinking they're nonconformist while they're wasting their youth trying to be activists for groups that they've never even met, who they didn't ask to be the spokespeople for these apparent minorities who are oppressed by... Well, everyone's a minority of these people except white, straight men, because they live under a colonialist, patriarchal, Christian, paedophile system that has just oppressed everyone in the world. And so white, cisgendered males, as they now call us, should all just shut up while everybody else who's a minority gets brought up into this form of equality based around collectivism and no one ever being offended again. And I'm like, well, excuse me, you people are insane. This isn't going to work. What are you talking about? What are your utopia of some kind of a global equality it's an illusion. What are you talking about?
I used to think it was possible.
No, it isn't. You don't want it to be possible. It's not possible. What are you talking about?
Well, what I like about you is you always turn your problems and your angst into comedy.
Yeah, well, we've got to make a joke about it. And at the end of the day, as a comedian, because I'm not a political activist, I'm not an intellectual, I'm not an academic, I'm not a master of the understandings of the complexities of communism or fascism or Marxism, because they'll come back and go, well, Marxism isn't really like this, Steve, it's like this. Oh, no, I'm just a guy who wanted to be an Iron Maiden and then did comedy, right? But because I like comedy, I'm going to protect, till my fucking death, the right to be able to say what you want and make people laugh. Because, the fact I wrote that silly crap joke about Clementine Ford, which is just a pun, it's just a joke. It's not a great joke, it's just a little pun. And you're spazzing out. And if you want to get rid of having a sense of humour to people, because you want everyone to be equal, but they're not allowed to be included in jokes.
We're no longer allowed to laugh.
So you can't make jokes about black people or Muslims or cripples or we can't call them cripples anymore, can I? No, they're disabled. Why? But you want them all included, yes, but don't make jokes. Because they've equated all jokes with ridicule. And it's not ridicule. Jokes aren't always ridicule. Jokes are jokes. It's hard to live on the earth. However human beings got to this planet, I think someone said, it's fucking going to be tough down there. Right, they're going to cry. I'd give them tears and laughter if I was you. Why? For a relief. You've done gigs all around the world like me. Where do you meet the best people in audiences? Belfast, Croatia.
Shitty places. Yeah.
People who have seen suffering.
Yeah.
Right?
They're the best. They laugh the hardest.
They laugh the hardest.
And people in the poorest countries have a better sense of humor. You go to China or Thailand or Indonesia and you walk around and you hear more laughter and joviality just in everyday life from people.
Why? Because they've seen hardship.
Less seriousness. They're not connected to the system.
Yeah, you have to laugh in the face of terror. That's what laughter's for, to protect you from going insane. From the hardship that is being a human being on the earth. It's hard. And I don't just mean hard, it's hard for you, is it, Steve, with your white privilege running around and it's hard still psychologically for us. In fact, it's getting harder psychologically in the West than for our people in third world countries. There's people in the West now moving to third world countries. Why? Because they don't want to pay $7,000 million a week rent. And they're sick of paying electricity bills and gas bills and tolls, and there's more tolls, and now there's road tax, and now there's hate speech, and now there's this tax, and now there's no smoking tax, and the cigarettes are $50 a packet, and you better have life insurance and health insurance, and we've got to get on their medication, and the water's full of poison and fluoride, and we've got GMO foods, and you better have a bank account, but it's going to go cashless. Yeah, wait till it's cashless, when you haven't got any cash. You understand? You're all fighting about this bullshit, and they're trapping you into a matrix, a digitalized, cashless, global, centralized fucking matrix. How? Well, by just destroying the West. You've got to destroy the West first. Why? Because if you want a one-world government, you've got to get rid of the rich and educated bit. We can deal with the poor bits that we've fucked up hundreds of years ago, ages ago. Oh, who fucked it up, Steve? You said before, it wasn't just white people that ran around the world. It's not just white people that run around the world. They've got friends. These people aren't. See, the people in charge of the world, that's what a lot of people go, you conspiracy theorists. What, you don't think that there's people in positions of power that you don't know about that are up to shit. See, it's easy to know that's happening. Why? Because it's always been happening. Through time immemorial. Which bit don't you fucking get? There's people in power that want to dominate shit. This is part of human... That happens in families.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I know it well.
Yeah. So don't think it doesn't happen on a global scale. Everything in the universe is a mirror of everything else. It's a macrocosm and a microcosm. It's happening. Of course it's fucking happening. But they don't want to listen. Oh, who runs all the banks? Well, the Rothschilds. Who are they? Well, they're Jewish. Do Jews run the world? No, banks run the world. Do Jews run it? No. But didn't you say the most powerful family in the world is Jewish? Yeah, but you can't say they run it. But didn't you say they are? Yeah, shut up. See, and it's all connected to, and it's not just them, is it? It's banking systems, it's big corporations, it's governments, it's centralised banks, it's pharmaceutical industries, it's fucking education, it's military industrial complexes, it's shadow governments, CIAs, FBIs, national security associations, all these things, they're all fucking, there's power things going on around the world, and see, some of these people have got 100-year plans. Just you don't know what you're doing next Sunday, right? Doesn't mean that there isn't people in the world that have 100-year plans. Now, do these 100-year plans always pan out the way they wanted? No, but they adjust. Because that's what you do whenever you've got a plan and it doesn't quite go to fucking plan. When I first went to Europe to do comedy, I wanted to go to England. I got there, I had 2 phone numbers, didn't really work. To get an open spot would take 3 months because there were so many comedians, but I knew some guys in Ireland, so I went to Ireland. I went, well, it's best I stay in Ireland for a year. I can live with me mates from Primordial in Dublin. There's some gigs walkable down the street. I can just ring up, I can come down to Kilkenny, come up to Galway, right? This is easier. I can operate here. So I had a plan, but I adjusted it when I got over there and realised my initial plan was not working. So I went, right, well, I'll go over here. And then what happened? Well, I met Glenn Wool and he goes, I've got a spare room. South London, want to live there? Yep, bang, back on plan. So if you're under some illusion that there isn't plans going on in the world to do shit, then you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot, and you should wake up, you sheep, eating your GMOs and watching your mainstream media and thinking the news is still... Who owns the news? About 4 people. And you don't think there's an agenda? Every day in the news, Donald Trump did this, Donald Trump eats apple, Nazi, Donald Trump puts on trousers, Nazi, Donald Trump does it. Oh, God, Jesus Christ. Hillary Clinton releases 10,000 fucking emails that undermine national security. Oh, don't worry about it. Would have been better if she got in, because she's a woman, and I think a woman should have a go. But didn't she just get busted putting emails out which undermine national security that the FBI were going to arrest her for and all that? Yeah. But...
No, I think they were just naked pictures of Ellen DeGeneres.
Gotta give the girls a go, Steve. What is it? Gotta have a go. I think it would just be good if the lady had a go.
I read that the Chinese...
Fucking morons.
I read that the Chinese are...
I'm getting angry now.
The Chinese have developed, they've already developed this digital background check, like, you know, when people run your personal history and, you know, if your credit score, basically, it's your credit score as a human being, a digital fingerprint that'll like label you how you are politically, if you're a troublemaker, if you're not, if you're a person who pays your bills or not, if you're a good citizen or not.
What? Well, I mean, who told you this?
I read that the Chinese have developed this. So you're digitally branded, if you will.
And what? Can I ask where you read this?
I think it was Wired.
Right. So someone's now got this going, look what the Chinese are doing. As if they aren't. Was this an American magazine going, look what the Chinese are doing? What, you telling me America's not doing this? You telling me Europe's not doing this?
Yeah, totally. And also in Wired I read about how the Russians are, they're using Ukraine and practicing, there's this computer virus called the sandworm, and they'll send it to all these people and companies, and it just takes one schmuck to open up an attachment, and there all these masking ways of trying to make something look like an in-house email from a coworker or from, you know, whoever, the gym down the street, 50% discount, whatever, and this virus gets into the computer system, and it's called a sandworm because it'll get into the system, but they won't do anything until like a year later. And they did it with like the Ukrainian electric company, with their voting, some kind of shit, so that they've been practicing on Ukraine that they're going to do it.
They're a laboratory. It's what Australia's like. Australia's like a laboratory for the New World Order. Some backward country that's out of the way, where all the white people have never had any oppression, so that they'll just act like Pavlovian dogs. These are my little theories anyway, folks. Yeah. I can't prove them.
Do your conspiracy theories bring you happiness in a way? Getting into that shit?
Yeah, because because I think we're living in a very interesting time where we're under what I would call a silent weapon for quiet wars, which is not a name I made up, where I think we're getting attacked on multi-dimensional levels all at once, in different ways, which is so confusing and complex that it's difficult to keep up, and I'd rather know than just be an ignorant sheep running around, staring at my iPhone, drinking Starbucks, thinking everything's going fantastic. Because either way, if this shit comes down, you're in trouble. As a guy I read years ago, when people used to go, well, I don't even believe in this stuff, because he used to talk about, because, there's different power groups in the world that have ideas about biblical prophecies, Armageddon, stuff like this, stuff that's put in religious texts. And people would go, yeah, but I don't even believe in that. And you go, well, that's very well and fine. You don't have to believe in it. But I'm just telling you, there's people in the world with far much more money and tons of power that do believe in it. And if they put their power and their money into their beliefs, your lives will be affected. So you don't have to believe in it.
Yeah.
But there's people who do believe in it, who have got much more access to try and pull it off than you've ever fucking dreamed of. So run around like an ignorant cunt. See if I care. Watch Game of Thrones every day and drink Starbucks and feed your kids
McDonald's. Winter is coming.
I love people that go, do you trust the government? Nah. Do you think they should mandatorily vaccinate your kids? Oh, of course. Of course. So you trust the same people that start illegal wars, are involved in illegal banking systems, run around, different countries dropping white phosphorus, depleted uranium, testing weapons on countries that didn't attack them, these same government bodies. You trust those people.
There's uniforms out there. Let's
to get up to this kind of psychopathic, genocidal behaviour. You trust them to inject your kids with vaccines. Yeah?
Give me a sec.
Of course.
We haven't had polio in a while.
Oh, okay. Well, just stick it in your kids then. Stick it in. I mean, you trust them. Because you can tell they're trustworthy people.
Well,
you can tell by their actions.
What did Rush Limbaugh think was the right answer?
I don't know. I hated Rush Limbaugh my whole life. I read his book in the 90s. I didn't like him at all. Who is this lunatic? I've been a lefty my whole life. Yeah. Rush Limbaugh, he's a lunatic when I read him. I don't know. But I was quite ahead of my time. No one in Australia heard of Rush Limbaugh or Camille Paglia. I was reading Rush Limbaugh and Camille Paglia. Now I'm on Rush Limbaugh and Camille Paglia.
Are you?
Nah, not Rush. Not totally. Well, it's like...
You can be the right-wing comedian now.
No, but as I've gotten older...
You're going to start doing state fairs in the United States.
As I've gotten older, I realise that, what are you picking...
Classic conventions.
What are you picking sides for completely? You can get information that you agree with from people who other parts of what they think you don't agree with.
Yeah, I don't fully...
It's completely possible,
I don't fully agree with anybody.
I could sit around with all night and find out Rush Limbaugh is actually a maniac, lunatic, white supremacist, but his views on political correctness I agree with.
Yeah.
Now, am I going to go, well, I can't agree with anything he says. Well, I agree with him on that, but he is a white supremacist lunatic. So, I don't want to hang out.
Yeah.
But I agree with him when he says that.
Forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters. Never opened myself this way. Life is really our way. All these words I don't just say, and nothing else matters. I seek and I find in you. Every day for us something new. Life is ours, we live it our way. Holy's words I don't just say, and nothing else matters. Trust I seek and I find in you. Every day for us something new. Open mind for a different view, and nothing else matters. Never care for what they say, never care for games they play, never care for what they do, never care for what they know. And I know, yeah. So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more apart. Forever trusting who we are. Nothing else matters.
Try some smoke, asshole! Calm down. That one's dead.
Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there,
Bastards are on their
like a
left leg.
splinter in your mind, driving you
All
mad.
done, let's go.
It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about? Matrix. Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
I will give you what you want.
Okay, guys.
I don't care how many people want to
Shoot or be shot.
disagree with
Yeah.
certain historical aspects and try to put forward revisionist history. It should be their right to speak,
Watch my ass.
and if they're not correct about it, the answer is to counter that with a correction to why they're wrong and continue to speak about it. You know, can you imagine me? I don't agree with the flat earthers, okay? Could you imagine me saying all flat earthers should be silenced? I don't necessarily think they're so sharp in their math and science skills, but that doesn't mean that I think that they should be silenced. They should be allowed to speak. Where I have a problem is they want to harass me for not believing in their fucking religion. Now I got a big problem. I'm not going to be harassed. You're not going to harass me because I don't accept your religion any more than some government shithead is going to harass me for not believing in authority. Their bullshit religion. You know? You're not going to harass me for not believing in your bullshit religion. No more than I would allow some imbecile, fake-ass Christian or some, crazy, radicalized Muslim or some lunatic, Orthodox, Judaic person who believes in that shit to come and say, you're going to have to believe in my religious belief or I'm going to endlessly harass you. Watch what will happen to you physically. You continue to do that. I'm not going to live my life harassed. You think you're playing with some little boy, You better think again. And that's what I would say is the same thing when they're telling you have to accept the religion of authority. And they're trying to punk you out and say, not only are you not going to rebel because we're going to take your weapons, we're going to shut your mouth too, and you're not even going to be able to speak, and we'll throw you in a cage for speaking your mind.
That one's dead.
Folks, any society that's already that closed down, anybody who supports it should have been swinging from a rope a long time ago. Or had their body full of holes a long time ago. Not now. It's already largely too late for something like that. Largely. Not entirely. But guess what? That's why nobody's ever taken Americans' weapons. Ever. Bet on it, boys and girls. Bet on it like your life depends on it.
All done. Let's go.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother. And you will know that they are the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you.
Ivory skin, silhouette, Leviathan, Damien, Antichrist, son said I was nice. 86 when I first blessed verbal device, that was Bill Powell. Move on, born equality, scalpel open parts of me, eyes filled with larceny, froze arteries, inject medicine for eternity. His doctrine cursed many men without revealing. I realized that he was Satan, interrogating. He sat back calm and patient. I'm trapped in a synagogue church, tied naked, voice was subtle, yet his rebuttal blessed hatred. I'm in the basement, beast mark on my forehead, it's the darkness. Culture had me misled, spoken words that was 33 and 1/3. Blue cipher, they hate ya, that's their nature. 1996, June 6th, the clock it read 6. I thought to myself, son, I'm in some deep shit. I looked around the room, but I couldn't peep shit. My anger climax now filled with hate, but I couldn't retaliate, still tied, can't escape, got me shook, trembling, son. He had me shaking, life was minute, my soul's for the taking. Before I died, I realized his greatest trick was making the world believe he didn't exist. Nazi, the Judas theory, and all my real thugs feel me. Ayo, for real, open your eyes and face facts. You the type of nigga that be on niggas' back, running off your mouth, weak shit like that. Ayo, the Judas, deep in our hearts, my team knew this. Meet me on the hill, bring your gap, we can do this. Show you more shine, down the ladder you climb, but you spend your whole life politicking with mine. Up north you 2-5 till you breathe your last breath. Now you come home and it's life or death, but you shitting where you eating, you ain't got nothing left. Capone put me on, so no longer I slept. You snake, living in my own projects. For you crabs, I be watching with infrared chrome, trying to get this bail money so my son to come home. Capone, why you locked? Real love is shown. Judas theory. Judas theory, and all my real thugs feel me. Yo, keep them crab niggas away. Come near me. The Judas theory, and all my real thugs feel me. Yo, keep them crab niggas away. Come near me. Keep your team close, keep your enemies closer, cause you never know. Judas theory out the popo, sun on the low. These streets is deep, full of criminal minds, thugs, drugs, and heat. Second part of the story takes place when you was locked up. Caught in the game and fucked up. Convict sucked CO dick on his lunch break. 5% turned Christian, Reverend Flake, scared straight, faggot ass nigga. bitch up. Shook to come out of your cell, style switch up. Trembling under your bunk, it's a blackout. 5D, ran in your cell, tore your back out. Old timers said, don't worry about it, take a slow-mo. Thugged out till you got dugged out, you homo. Sitting in the mess hall seat, ass hanging, requesting PC now. It ain't banging. Niggas got you bent backwards cause you's a wankster. Frontin' on work police like you a gangster. Back on your feet, had dough in the stash, your girl's curious. Why you wanna fuck me in the ass? You's a halfway thug. Gave your lady the bug. Telling niggas war stories on how you sold drugs. Feminine gossiping like a bitch you talk. Real niggas stand up on their own with no support. Snitched on the team, but Capone got caught. He was laid up in projects. How's a crap? You snitch coward, now you gonna die 1,000 deaths. You's a fake trying to keep your way up inside us. Poison in the minds of thugs trying to divide us. Gag his mouth, time and chairs with barbed wires. Know what I'm saying? Barbed wires, the Judas theory. And all my real thugs feel me. Yeah, word up. Yo. The Judas theory. And all my real thugs feel me. Yo, keep them crab niggas away. Don't come near me. The Judas theory. And all my real thugs feel me. Yo, keep them crab niggas away. Don't come near me. Keep your team close, keep your enemies closer. Cause you never know who be selling out the popo. Son on the low, these streets is deep. Full of criminal minds, thugs, drugs, and heat. For the street. And all my niggas Stretch Armstrong. Put it on. Dust the dawn, singing that war report. Gaddafi, cut your life short, blood sport. Third world, gorillas, I'm saying, bring it if you really feel it.
Firefly, watch yourself.
CNN, Capone, I'ma hold you down, son.
Just a few of these fuckers left. One down. Dead. Cover me.
All done, let's go.
All done. Let's go. Those uniforms are fucking done.